Hello and welcome to the Central Television. I am Lekon Onobanjo and here are stories making headlines beyond the continent. Let's begin by telling you that on the penultimate day of campaigning in the UK's general election, former Prime Minister Boris Johnson made a surprise appearance for the first time in support of current Prime Minister Rishi Sunak. Sunak was a member of the group which helped remove Johnson from power following the Partygate scandal, in which he was found to have broken his own COVID lockdown rules. Until now in the campaign, Johnson had only supported individual candidates via video messages. Speaking at the event in London, he says he came back to warn against a Labour Party supermajority.
I was glad when Rishi asked me to help. Of course I couldn't say no. And I'm here for one reason and one reason only, which is the same reason as all of you, all of us are here. We're here because we love our country. And whatever our differences, they are utterly trivial by comparison with the disaster we may face if these so-called opinion polls are right. None of us can sit back as a Labour government prepares to use a sledgehammer majority to destroy so much of what we have achieved, what you have achieved.
Well, first of all, I've got to thank Boris for being here. Thank him for his support. Isn't it great? Isn't it great to have our Conservative family united, my friends? Yeah! Now, Boris is right to say now is the time for all Conservatives to come together to deny Labour that supermajority that Keir Starmer craves. We have 48 hours to save Britain from the danger of a Labour.
Meantime, voters across the United Kingdom will head to the polls in what is being considered a crucial general election. The candidates from various political parties have been campaigning vigorously, presenting their manifestos and policies to gain the support of the electorate. The outcome of this election will not only shape the future of the UK, but also have repercussions on its relationship with the European Union and other countries worldwide. As the countdown begins for News Central, Afua Hagan has been talking to voters in London.
6 weeks of frenetic campaigning, the general election here in the UK is almost upon us. The main issues in this election are the state of the health service, the cost of living crisis, environmental issues and immigration. Voters on the streets of London have a lot to consider when they head to the ballot box to cast their vote. With about 30 British-Nigerian candidates vying for seats in the election, the British-Nigerian vote is an important one. Many voters in the community will be opting for a Labour government.
There's something about Labour that's helpful. Anyway, I don't know. I don't know because I haven't voted before. So this is my first time. So I prefer Labour. For everybody, I choose Labour. And I will vote Labour again until they get to the top.
I will be voting for a Labour Party.
Why will you be voting Labour?
Well, they have a very a different kind of ideas and what is beneficial to the community, and they've so much focus on the Britishness of the country. We're going through a lot on the streets, you know what I mean? So nothing is changing, and now we can't even do business. Businesses are struggling. So I think there's a change. We need a change.
People are looking for a change appropriately. It doesn't have to do with anybody color, Well, the Conservatives have been here for more than 16 years, and they've swerved over the time, and people just really want to change, and that's what it should represent in the actual fact of life, So if they give the new Labour leader an opportunity, you never know what can happen.
Will you be voting?
This year, no.
Why are you not voting?
I'm someone that studied government and politics at A-level, so I'm pretty aware of all the voting systems, and I just believe that they're all broken.
This is the most pivotal election for a generation, with many voters up and down the country hungry for change. With the Conservative Party widely expected to be ousted from government and replaced with the Labour Party in a landslide victory, it looks like that change is going to come. But the undecided voters could still make a difference to the majority the Labour Party holds. With votes being cast in under 24 hours, results are expected to start coming in on Friday morning. For News Central, I'm Afua Hagan.
Now to discuss the election, and I'm joined by an international affairs analyst, Olabode Oseni. Olabode, good evening, of course, a good day to you, let me just put it that way. It's nice to have you around on the news.
Thank you very much for having me, Central.
So how do you feel about the response that, of course, the feelers that we're getting from those who will be voting in the election? A few of them say that they would want a change, and there are a couple of questions being asked as to how the Tory have led so far and what the Labour might present. What's your take?
Thank you very much. Let me start by saying that it is true that majority of the people, the electorates, they are tired. And they are tired of 14 years of Conservative Party. In this climb, an average electorate is well informed. They are mature. They know exactly what they want. So when a ruling party or when the governing party is struggling to achieve certain things, they can also wait until when they're going to have the opportunity to change the vote. I hear that Labour is doing very well in the poll, no doubt about that. But there's also some area where Labour they're not going to win. Change is also suspected. I can also quickly use this opportunity to say I belong to a new party called Yoruba Party in the UK. Yoruba Party in the UK is where we don't have a say. We are so many here, and the candidacy of one of our party, Dr. Oni, somewhere in Peckham, is going to make a change. The change is also necessary there because there have been 42 years of Labour, and people there are still complaining. So hopefully, when we win that place tomorrow, there will be many changes that will take place. So coming back to your main question again, oh yes, people are tired. And all the opinion poll is showing clearly that Labour is going to win a historic, just exactly like that of 1997 when Tony Blair was the leader of the Labour Party. So far so good. Everything is looking well that Labour is going to win this time around.
Well, there are a few issues in the UK right now. One of them is the cost of living crisis, and a lot of people will be wanting answers to that. When you look at the manifestos, the policies and the priorities of these parties contesting, which one would you say would speak more to solving the crisis that, of course, people in that particular country are actually facing?
Like any other thing, anywhere in the whole world, issue of assistance, issue of cost of living come first, bread and butter. So majority of the people are struggling, like I said, to survive now. Things are getting not all that seriously good. So for them, they're looking for a change. They're looking for a party. They say, well, we can fix that problem. And manifesto is the Bible of all these political parties. I also quickly want to go back to the Yoruba Party. Manifesto is clearly states that we are going to fix problem in Peckham, the constituency, where for the last 5 years or so, there's no police station and where housing have been an issue and so on. So the manifesto of each of these parties will spell out what changes they are going to bring to the table. And usually the electorates, they want to listen to that. They want to use that for reasons why they want to change their votes to maybe mainstream party like Labour, and hopefully also a party in our own constituency, because we're going to offer them many things that they don't have.
So what about voter turnout in marginal constituencies? What impact do you think that would have, looking at these parties and the strategies they'll be pulling up?
Traditionally, low turnout has negative effect on elections, because what it means in democracy is that not many people are participating in the civic duties. But this time around, from all the opinion poll is showing that a large number of people will come out to vote. So that might not be exactly as is predicted, but I'm sure this time around it's not going to be so low like sometimes in the past. So it looks like majority of the people are going to come out this time around to vote for their preferred candidates or parties.
And we see former Prime Minister Boris Johnson coming out to speak for the Rishi Sunak-led Tories, knowing fully well that Rishi Sunak was actually one of those that actually planned with some members of the party to oust Boris Johnson, but they seem to have closed that gap, but seem to be working for a particular cause. Do you think that could make the party formidable in the coming elections?
No, of course not. And thank you very much for reminding me that. There is, of course, the conspiracy, the way Boris Johnson was ousted. Well, like another thing in politics, you don't want to continue keeping grudge or whatever. So, but I can say to our viewers that Boris Johnson coming out at this last minute is not going to have any effect whatsoever. It's just like he has to do what he has to do. And people also know that when he left unceremoniously and coming back now to want to save the back of conservative, it's just not going to happen. Because like I said, majority of the people, they already made up their mind. They made up their mind that this time around, 14 years of conservative, it's just, and like I said, the beauty of democracy and also the best part of electorate that are highly informed, they're well organized, they know when to say, you know what, we had enough of you. And it's not only in the UK, it happens all over the civilized or the developed countries. When they have enough of the party, the specific party, they go out and say, look, we want to vote you out. And what they do, the power they have is to use their ballot papers.
All right, we know that wherever this pendulum swings, it will actually shape the future of the UK and how it interacts with the European Union and other countries. So this is one election that we are going to keep our eyes on and bring the details to our viewers. Olabode Oseni, thank you so much. It was nice talking to you.
And thank you very much. If I just want 1 second, please, I just want to take advantage of it. No, it's also for anybody that knows anybody in Peckham, please tell your friends and family to vote for.
Well, we are not using our station to campaign for any election, all right? So, but then we appreciate that. Thank you very much. Let's move on now. French far-right leader Marine Le Pen accused French President Emmanuel Macron of rushing to appoint top officials in what she sees a power grab. This is just the latest episode in an ongoing fight between Macron's camp and the national rally over the president's powers, with the far-right party arguing that it should be up to the next government to appoint key officials. Over the past days, Macron appointed several top officials in France and pushed for his allies to get key jobs in Brussels. French government spokesperson Prisca Thévenot explaining that the fact that appointments are made during the Council of Ministers is nothing new.
Je pense qu'on savait que Marine Le Pen mentait, on sait maintenant qu'elle manipule l'information. Ce qui est important de rappeler dans le fonctionnement de notre État de droit en France, en République, c'est la Constitution, rien que la Constitution, et encore la Constitution. Qu'il y ait des nominations pendant le Conseil des ministres, ce n'est pas nouveau. Visiblement, elle s'en inquiète aujourd'hui, mais ce n'est pas nouveau. Ça se passe sur chaque Conseil des ministres et ça se passe aussi précisément à la veille de la période estivale pour préparer la rentrée qui s'annonce, comme chaque année. On ne badine pas avec l'extrême droite en France. Donc non, il n'est pas question d'avoir ce genre de scénario possible, et je le redis ici, pas une voix au Rassemblement national, pas une voix à l'extrême droite. Tout pas qu'il gagne, tout moments sur lesquels ils avancent, ce sont des moments où on va reculer sur des droits fondamentaux dans notre pays. Et je le dis ici en tant que membre du gouvernement, mais je vous le dis aussi en tant que fille d'immigrés et maman d'enfants métis. Donc non, on ne badine pas avec le Rassemblement national, en aucune manière. Se désister, ce n'est pas se rallier, ce n'est pas se compromettre. C'est que nous sommes dans un temps politique aujourd'hui où nous avons le Rassemblement national qui est aux portes du pouvoir. Je pense que j'apprends rien à personne, maintenant, aujourd'hui. Combattre le RN aujourd'hui, ce n'est pas s'allier à la LFI demain. Je pense que c'est assez simple, c'est du bon sens. Et considérer que le LFI est l'alpha et l'oméga de la gauche aujourd'hui en France, je ne suis pas d'accord avec ce postulat-là.
Spain's Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez has welcomed the withdrawal of candidates from the second round of parliamentary elections in France in a bid to block the far right. Sanchez also congratulated the Labour Party on its expected strong results in tomorrow's UK elections. The deadline for declarations in the French elections ended on Tuesday, with large numbers of left and centre candidates standing aside in order to try to block the far-right's national rally. Parties had till 1800 local time to register contenders for Sunday's second round of parliamentary elections.
En definitiva, en España, pues no lo han conseguido, les hemos frenado. Es verdad que esa amenaza existe, pero en el resto de Europa, pues esa ultraderecha no para de crecer, ¿no? Ya gobierna en 7 países de la Unión Europea y en Francia, pues en fin, acaba de ganar la primera vuelta de las elecciones legislativas, ¿no? Yo espero, por el bien de Francia y también por el bien de Europa, que el acuerdo entre los partidos políticos que conocimos ayer y la movilización, sobre todo, de la Francia progresista y republicana, frenen a la ultraderecha en Francia como hicimos en España hace un año. Frente a la ultraderecha no debe haber colores, sino demócratas. En todo caso, aunque el gobierno de Francia no sea su nuevo trofeo, esa ultraderecha que ha ido ganando terreno en la complicidad de los partidos conservadores tradicionales, y el Partido Popular aquí es un buen ejemplo de ello, es sin duda uno de los principales retos que debemos afrontar y para el cual vamos a pedir ayuda, por supuesto, a este laboratorio de ideas, ¿no? Mañana hay elecciones en el Reino Unido y da la sensación de que va a ganar el Partido Laborista después de más de una década en la oposición. Enhorabuena anticipada y adelantadas al Partido Laborista.
You're watching Beyond the Continent on News Central Television. We'll take this break now. We'll be back in a bit. Let's bring you the rest of the stories. The International Thermonuclear Experimental Reactor, which aims to revolutionize energy production, will be delayed by several years and will cost several billions of euros. This is according to its managing director, Pietro Barbaraschi. The ITER project formally began in 2006 when its international partners agreed to fund an estimated 5 billion euros, then $6.3 billion, a 10-year plan that would have seen ITER come online in 2016. The most recent official cost estimate stands at more than 20 billion euros. We're talking about $22 billion, with ITER normally turning on scarcely 2 years from now.
We'll prioritize research. So research means trying to get to deuterium tritium operation as quickly as possible. And when we speak about that and we compare the new baseline versus the old one foresaw DT operation in 2035, and it will move 4 years later in 2039. This is our new target date. And to prepare for that, we need to prove that the machine is fully commissioned, so it will be able to operate with hydrogen and or deuterium at full plasma current. And that was originally thought to happen and targeted in 2033, and now it will be targeted in 2036. So we are speaking about, say, a 4-year delay overall, comparing, the key project milestones. We plan now that we will need about 5 billion euro more, which is a hell of a lot of money, of course, I will not deny that. And so, as I said also during the press conference, part of our strategy now is to see if there are ways to improve efficiency, but I want to be clear, we want to do it right. We don't want, in order to, cut costs, end up in having problems of quality. This is not acceptable. Problems of quality then end up causing extra costs, not lesser costs, because we end up having to repair things, to delay.
Russia's President Vladimir Putin has held talks with Pakistani Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif ahead of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization Summit in Astana. Sharif said Russia is very kind to promote cooperation in the energy field, adding that Pakistan has received a shipment of oil from which it is grateful. Putin touched down in the Kazakh capital of Astana on Wednesday morning for the summit, a Beijing-led regional bloc that covers Central Asia, India and Iran. Moscow and Beijing have deepened their political, military and economic ties since Russia launched its invasion of Ukraine in February 2022. The 34th SCO summit will take place on July 4 in Kazakhstan.
Of course, on my request, you're very kind to promote cooperation in the field of energy, and we received shipment of oil from your great country, and I'm very grateful for that. But we really need to further move in this direction.
Начались поставки наших энергоносителей в Пакистан, и мы готовы к их увеличению. По вашей просьбе Россия старается вносить свой вклад и обеспечение продовольственной безопасности Пакистана. Мы увеличиваем поставки зерновых на пакистанский рынок. Отношения между нашими странами развиваются и развиваются в деловом, дружеском ключе. Отмечаю рост товарооборота, и перспективы здесь у нас очень неплохие. На два направления обратил бы особое внимание. Прежде всего, это сотрудничество в области энергетики и агропромышленного бизнеса. Наши отношения носят такой дружественный характер и развиваются на протяжении десятилетий. Мы этому очень рады, и я надеюсь, что и наша сегодняшняя встреча послужит делу дальнейшего укрепления двухсторонних связей между Пакистаном.
That's all at this hour. Don't forget to send your eyewitness report to the WhatsApp number and email on the screen. Do follow us on social media. We are at News Central TV. And you can watch News Central live on DSTV channel 422, Star Times channel 274, Avo TV and YouTube. Many thanks for watching. I am Lekon Onobanjo.